Alright, y'all. My time in Seattle, Washington. Oh boy, where do I begin? It started off cool, I'll be honest. Going to a place you've never been before, it's always fun. You know what I'm saying? Especially with me I enjoy traveling, especially to new places. And of course, no one ever plans to travel and have a shitty experience, you know? And that is what happened with me in Seattle, at least the first half of Seattle. I guess I'll start off with the highlights first. The highlights of my Seattle trip was, I'll do it in order too. The Museum of Pop Culture, aka the Mopop. It was such a highlight. We spent 3 days there. 2 of those days were free thanks to one of the employees. Shout out to Jess, man. She made my birthday worthwhile. I appreciate Jess allowing me and my people to go into the Mopop for 3 days. 2 of those days were free, so shout out to her for that. The Skyview Observatory. I don't know how Seattle natives would feel with me saying this, but the Skyview Observatory is way better than the Space Needle. Way better. The view that you get is phenomenal. You get to really see all of downtown Seattle, from the Ferris wheel to Lumen Field and T-Mobile Park, where the Seahawks and the Mariners play respectfully. You also got to see and learn the different history about Seattle, Washington, from mountains to particular buildings or monumental pieces that make Seattle what it is. It was pretty cool, man. The food out there is fucking pricey. I was not expecting to be paying a lot of money for food every meal. You know what I'm saying? I would much rather cook out there, which the majority of the times ended up doing, because what the hell? But the one restaurant that I do remember the most was Bongo's. It's like a Jamaican or Caribbean spot. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. And I could say that everybody that was on that trip agrees. You know what I mean? 100% agrees that Bongo's food was the best food that we had out there. Yeah, that's pretty much it, man. The food at the Mopop was good too. The wings were to die for. They were really good wings. And me being from Atlanta, I grew up on wings. So those are some really phenomenal wings. I give it to them. But other than that, man, and of course, Sean Kim's cannabis. Just going into that cannabis store or dispensary was a vibe. But it gave off like a smoke shop aesthetic, for real, because of when you see a dispensary most times you can't see through the glass of the dispensary. Like, it's either a tinted window or something like that, so you can't see what's going on. In Seattle, for Sean Kim Cannabis, boy, you can see right through there. That blew my mind, but hey, they had some good stuff. Ended up getting some Gary Payton Oreos, some gelato, lemon squeezer, I think is what it was called. I forget some of the names. But yeah, it was all good stuff, I can't lie. And I enjoyed looking at the skyline from afar from where we were staying. Because we weren't staying that far away from downtown Seattle, but it was a nice little area. Nice, quiet neighborhood. I'll be real, bro. I wanted to grab some Sonics paraphernalia or memorabilia, particularly a Sonics jersey. But with the way that the food was priced out there, I was not expecting that. So instead of paying $175 for a damn jersey, I just ended up getting this hat for $40, $37.99 to be exact. And it's a nice little corduroy touch with the Sonics on there too. You know what I mean? See the S right there, man. It's a nice hat, you know. It's a nice little hat. Y'all can see it right there. W Sonics, man, for sure. Sean Kemp, Gary Payton, Deadlift Shrimp, Hershey Hawkins, Irvin Johnson, you know what I'm saying? Man, that was squad, you know? I'm sad that they never won a championship with that squad. They did win a championship in 79 with Lenny Watkins, right? Lenny Wilkins, rest in peace. He's the one that had the championship there. Let me make sure I'm saying this man's name right, because I would hate to be saying that and not say the right person. I know he just recently passed. Yeah. Lenny Wilkins. Rest in peace, brother. Rest in peace, man. Incredible career, incredible coach, all that good stuff. And DJ, Dennis Johnson, who played with Larry Legend in the 80s, also was on that team in 79 that got that championship in Seattle. So that's dope. That boy hard work to that boy resume, you feel me? But yeah, man, let's get to the not so good stuff, okay? This whole trip, the reason for this trip was for me to go see Gunna at WAMU Theater and to tour Seattle, of course. But like, I've never been to Washington. Me living in Colorado, that was the furthest west I've ever been. Well, I can't say that no more because I went west to Seattle, Washington. And yeah, it was nice being at sea level. It was nice seeing the vibes of great seafood fresh off the shore. Beautiful. But I've never been so upset about Live Nation or Ticketmaster having a situational fuck-ups like this. Excuse my French. So yeah, I was gifted a meet and greet package to meet Gunna at his last North American show before he went overseas for the Last One tour. And to show you proof, this is the VIP bag that we got from Gunna. Let's see what's in there. The Last One hat, which was the album, The Last One. Socks with the same logo on that shit. I need some damn socks. And then last but not least, this VIP lanyard that says, hey, he was at the One World Tour. Look, man, shout out to Gunna, and I'm proud of Gunna and his success throughout his career. But what I'm about to say is not really Gunna's fault, so I'm not about to sit here and say fuck Gunna, you know? I'm gonna say fuck Live Nation. Huge fuck Live Nation. And fuck Ticketmaster. You know, normally Ticketmaster sends you emails saying, hey, you have a show coming up. Get ready for your show. And they'll give you an itinerary on what you need to prepare for the show. And they'll give you like venue rules, things like that as well. I didn't get that email, especially being a VIP meet and greet ticket holder. I didn't get that email. And since I was with the person that got that gift for me, I asked them too. I said, hey, did you get an email about this? They said no. So, right when we get to the gate, before we even scan our ticket, these folks, the security saying, meet and greet is over. Meet and greet is over. All we knew was to get there at 6:15. That was the earliest time that we were told to get there. And that was like a day before the show. And normally when you're VIP, you get information 2-3 days, maybe a week before the show about meet and greet time, VIP packages, seating, etc. I didn't get that at all. I was mad as fuck. impressing everybody from the people that work at the venue to Live Nation, since they're over the show. Nobody could give me no real answer, bro. And that's what irked me. So I'm like, bro, like, no one told me that meet and greet started at 4 p.m. 4 p.m. for an 8 o'clock show? Who the fuck is gonna be at a venue for 4 hours before the actual show starts? And normally, I could be wrong, because this is my first meet and greet experience. So I could be wrong. Are meet and greets normally before or after the show? I thought it was always after the show, especially with it being the last show for the North American leg of the tour. I would have thought it was the last part of the show. After the festivities of the concert, then we line up the meet and greet. But hey, had I got this email, I would have known to get my ass there at 4 o'clock. But no one said anything to me or to the person that gifted me this ticket. It irked my soul, chat. So it was already 1 strike, 2 strikes. You know what I'm saying? Hearing that the meet and greet was over and having to run circles to try to find a solution on who was responsible to send people this information on the meet and greet schedule. That's 2 strikes. Strike 3. Here's a picture of WAMU Theater. This is how it looks inside. The VIP people were close to the stage already. There's no section, no rope, no nothing that separates VIP from general admission. Okay, chat? There's no barrier, no nothing to indicate that. So since VIP first access, early entry, that's at 6:15, we there, right? By the time 7 o'clock hits, 7 o'clock p.m., when the door is open to the public, general admission folks literally bum rushing through security, hovering over everyone in the VIP. Like, I couldn't even pull out my phone to show y'all how packed I was in that crowd. So many people in VIP looking at each other like, bro, what is this? Some natives were like, yeah, it's like that here in WAMU. Oh my gosh, I hate that people are just having no home training. Bro, that shit pissed me off, bro, with the amount of pushing, the amount of shoving, all this climbing over people. The security were tripping balls on people that were vaping before the show even started. Like, folks were just tucking their fucking head in their shirt vaping. If the security was tripping on vaping, the vape pens and shit that these young kids be smoking, imagine if I would have light up a joint. Imagine. If I was able to light up a joint, I would have been okay with all the pushing and the shoving for a temporary period of time. But me already being medicated off the shroomies, you know what I'm saying? That wasn't making my trip any better. Chat. By the time 8 o'clock come on, you know, that's when the DJs start hyping up the crowd. But the crowd was already hyped from all the pushing and the shoving. Once the DJ started playing the music and hyping the crowd up, bro, there is even more pushing. Like, I felt like the middle crowd just collectively said, huh, to everybody on my side. So we all stumbling to the left. And then the folks from the other side like, oh yeah? And do it back to the other side. And I'm like, bro, it get to the point where my hands were shaking and I was about to see red. Because if I felt another elbow to my back, if I felt another hand on my ass, if I felt another, oh my God. I can laugh about it now because, man, that's some bullshit. But, man, I was just like, you know what? The people who I'm with, y'all just grab onto me and we're going to get the fuck out of this crowd. So we are literally trying to squeeze our way out this crowd, this packed up crowd. We packed in there like sardines, chat. We are body to body, cheek to cheek, literally. And it's fucking irked my soul. Once we got out of that crowd and we see the big gap between the fucking pit of people just packed in there together and the fucking soundboard and the AV table in the middle of the venue, yo, I wanted to, bro, at that point, I raged. I'm gonna be honest, because I was still so irate from just being so in there, so stuck in there. Folks not abiding by the rules. People from general admission lying to folks up here in VIP talking about, I'm trying to find my brother. And me and my people, we at the damn near at the gate. We like 3 rows away from the gate. And he's saying random ass names. Ain't nobody turning around. So it's like, bro, if you didn't buy a VIP ticket, get your ass back to general admission, nigga. Straight up. Excuse my French. But I was really on that type of time, bro. I was that irate, chat. That mad, chat. I was so mad. I didn't even stay to watch the show. Because honestly, like, I was even suggested, hey, we could sit on the side. You know what I'm saying? As soon as Gunna pop out, we can climb in the crowd a little bit, smoke a little bit, then dip. So that way we saw him. I didn't even want to do that, bro. I was that mad. I didn't even get to meet the nigga. And that was the whole point of this whole trip. For me particularly, you know, because I like to go to concerts. Y'all see me post my concert highlights of the artists that I see. And this was my first ever meet and greet, bro. Well, this is my second opportunity. The first one got canceled because Tommy Wigway, he didn't want to travel with his kids, so he shortened his tour to like 6 cities. And I'm like, bro, like, what the fuck? And then now the Gunna situation in Seattle. I don't know if I'm gonna do VIP no more, man. Honestly, as long as I'm in the venue and I see the artist perform, that's cool. But at that moment, I didn't see Gunna. I didn't meet the man. And I couldn't take any of that bullshit inside of that fucking stadium, arena, whatever you want to call it. And then when I went back to the Mopop the next day, courtesy of Jess, we're talking to her about the experience we had. And she's like, oh yeah, Whammo, they're rowdy. They're the only venue that is that rowdy. And then when I do the research, because normally I do research about, you know, venue, about the show itself. As I'm doing the research, I noticed that it was a show for all ages. Not 16 plus, not 18 plus, 21 plus. All ages. When I tell you, I was so irate. One of my people got elbowed in the fucking face by some tall ass white boy, and she's short as hell. You wouldn't know what the white boy told her? I mean, we're at a concert, dude. I've been to a lot of concerts. I'm sure she has been to a number of concerts. Y'all seen her in some of my videos too. But damn it, I can guarantee you we have never experienced anything like that. where the crowd was that damn rowdy before the artists even pop up on stage. Man, that made me so pissed off, bro. So pissed off. I was like, you know what? It's time to get up out of here. Fuck this place before I get in the fight or I get kicked out. I get arrested in a place I've never been before. Hours before my birthday. No, we're not doing that. Let's go. I'd rather be yelling and upset outside this venue than taking it out on somebody that was just on my last nerve. You know what I mean? Goodness gracious, the amount of intoxicated people that passed out. So many fucking fights that were about to break out. People still harassing security or security harassing people. It was just not the place to be. My gut was like, bruh, I know you paid money to be here. I know this is the sole reason of why you're here. But this ain't it. Dip, bro. Please, before things go left. And as mad as I was, bro, I'm glad that I did leave when I did leave. Because it wouldn't have been good for nobody involved, bro. For real. There's this place out there too called Golden Rooster, I think is what it's called. It's like a bar or some shit. The night before the Gunners show, the Seahawks were playing the Rams. By the way, great game. Great ass game. Because I thought the Rams was going to do something. Seahawks came back and won. Great game, for sure. But that waitress in Golden Rooster messed up my order and charged me for something that we didn't even get. Mind you, I told you that the food items there were already expensive. And it's 5 of us per meal. We didn't realize it until we got back to the Airbnb that our food was fucked up. And normally we check our food, but we didn't look at the receipt to realize where she made the mess up at. Our bill for 5 things was like $100 before tip. It's like, bro, this is a bar. What are we doing? Shit, the food that we paid for at Bongos to fill up 5 people, $60. $60. Beautiful pricing. I'm mad that we didn't eat there for the amount of days that we were there. 4 days. We could have just ate that shit and been fine. Tried 4 different meals. For real. Cause what the hell was that Golden Rooster bullshit, bro? And the food was mediocre as hell for them to be charging $100 for 5 meals. Fuck out of here, bro. Fuck out of here. That shit was lame as hell. Another highlight was the transit system there. The buses, the train, really, really smooth and efficient. And people say that about RTD in Colorado, but I think the Transit Go is much more efficient than RTD, for sure. For sure. But yeah, other than those mishaps, I did enjoy touring Pike Place. Yeah, that's what it's called. The Skyview Observatory, the Space Needle, even though it's overrated to me. And I hate that the history was in the beginning of the line, and there's no one telling you like, hey, this is the only time you get to read the history before you get into this line for the elevator to go up. And then when you do go up, you barely getting a fucking view of what's going on for real in the city. And I'm like, bro, the Skyview way better than this, bro. Way better. But it's all cool, bro. I wish I had more time to visit Tacoma, Washington, because I have a friend that I grew up with who is stationed out there as he is fighting for our country. And I ain't seen that boy since we were kids, man, for real. So it would be nice to pull up on him, chop it up with him for a bit. But we ain't have enough time, and the vibe wasn't it. For real, for real. So if I ever decide to visit Washington, I'll go visit the Mopop for sure. And I'll visit Tacoma to see what that's like. But yeah, this was just a quick story time on how my birthday went in Seattle, Washington. I appreciate all the birthday love. It feels good to be a new age, but I just wish I was able to experience it way better than what I experienced in Seattle. I'll just be honest. But anyway, that's the video, chat. Like it up, like it up, like it up, like it up. Comment your grievances or your happy birthdays in the comments. And I'll see y'all in the next video, man. Peace and love.